Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States,
to the republic
for which
nation under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all. Thank you. All right, so we'll get this meeting going. You're on time. I'm just going to start by reading the disclaimer that
Hector, you're muted.
Hector, you're muted.
I know he just read the whole.
Yeah, I just read the whole thing, but thank you for
I
letting
know,
me know.
I was reading your lips.
Okay, so we just did a disclaimer, and if we can get everybody else to mute their, whatever you're using, tablet, computer, if we can get you to mute, and then we can proceed on to the meeting. Ms. Rachel Robinson, if you can mute.
I'm muted on my phone.
Okay, thank you. All right, we're gonna do a roll call. Commissioner Darwin,
Present.
Commissioner Potter,
here.
and the chair is present as well. We're gonna move on to approval of the minutes for March 24th, 2021. Commissioners, have you had a chance to read the minutes?
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to say we didn't hear any of your reading of, you were muted the whole entire time. You may have to reread it. I hate to say it. We didn't hear any of it.
All right, it's brief, so I'll read it quick. Okay, pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2024, and certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 18, and the Governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place. This public meeting of the Lawrence Licensing Board is being conducted via remote participation. Members of the public may attend this meeting virtually until acknowledged by the board. All members of the public must mute or silence their device. Okay, so now we're going to move. We've already done roll call, so we'll move to approval of the minutes for March 24th, 2021. The commissioners have read the minutes. I've entertained a motion to accept as posted.
Motion to accept as
So
posted.
Motion,
Second.
so moved. Second. All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
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 Roll call, Commissioner Darwin,
Yes.
Commissioner Potter,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes as well. We're going to go on to tabled matters. DBA Toco Auto Sales located at 31 Merrimack Street, Unit 7 for change of ownership to Jose Ramirez, DBA Toco Auto Sales. I'll entertain a motion to take that off the table.
Motion to take that off the
So
table.
moved.
Motion and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Roll call, Commissioner Darwin,
Yes.
Commissioner Potter,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes as well. All right, we did have the paperwork for this was emailed to the commissioners. Do we have anybody who would like to speak on this matter? Mr. Mary Diego, I believe is his name. If he's here. I do not see Mr. Mary Diego here. I believe we have all the paperwork all in order. If I can get somebody from inspectional services to speak on that, just make sure that all the paperwork is in order.
It's supposed to be Jose Ramirez.
Jose Ramirez.
Hermes. It's Jose Ramirez. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Ramirez, is Mr. Ramirez here? I do not, oh, I see a Jose Ramirez here. All right, Mr. Ramirez, if you can unmute.
I'm not Ramirez.
Yeah, he is, Mr. Ramirez is muted right now. Okay, and somebody from inspectional services, could you tell me if all the paperwork is up to date and he has his bonded and all his paperwork in order?
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. Okay, and commissioners, you received that?
I believe I did, yes.
Okay. I have one question, and that would be, how many cars can he have on property?
It says 50, I think.
It says
Seems like
50?
a lot.
Okay. Okay, so that's posted on there, 50. Mr. Ramirez, can you hear us yet? Okay. He's unmuted, but we can't hear him. I read the rest of the paperwork, and it seemed from our end that it was all in order. He did have all the paperwork from the city, from the bonding company, his lease and everything seemed to be in order. So I'll entertain a motion that we give Mr. Ramirez his class 1, 2, 3 license.
Can I have a quick question? Has anyone seen the site? Is there room for 50 vehicles plus employees or staff? Been out or?
Yeah,
That would be
Lieutenant.
inspectional services.
I just pulled
Well,
up.
Lieutenant, okay, Lieutenant Sorrell?
That's the lot that's located a couple lots down from Shalom on
Merrimack Street.
Merrimack Street.
Merrimack Street?
That's a relatively big lot. I believe it's capable of holding at least 50 vehicles. I don't know if the fire department has done a inspection of that property recently, but it is a big lot there.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, actually, Commissioner Darwin, I did drive by there today, and it is a good sized lot.
Okay.
And it is a change of ownership, so they've already been in operations, and there were quite a few cars there.
Right.
The previous owner been in operation, so we're just gonna be changing the ownership. But it is well maintained, easily accessible for everyone, so I don't see a problem.
Okay.
Okay,
So, so moved
Motion.
on your motion. Motion to approve.
okay, so we have a motion to grant the change of ownership, with a second, all in favor,
Aye.
indicate by saying aye. Aye. All
Aye.
opposed, none. Roll call, Commissioner Darwin,
Yes.
Commissioner Porter,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes as well. Okay, we're gonna be moving on to new business. Start by going to Hin Bay Boba Tea located at 130, 142 South Union Street. Is applying for a common vic license. Do we have anyone from? Okay, Mr. Sunghin, you are muted right now.
Okay, sorry.
about it.
Okay, if, 1 second, please. Mr. Ramirez, if you can mute your mic so we can move on to new business.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, and Mr. Sunghin, And
Yeah.
you have all your proper paperwork in order,
Yes.
okay? And what are your hours of business?
From 11 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
From 11 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you, so,
It sounded
I'll
to me
ask,
like 11 to 11.
Yes,
Yeah,
11
11
to 11. Okay,
Okay.
okay, and that's 7 days a week?
Yes.
Okay. Do any of the commissioners have any questions for Mr. Sunghan?
No.
Okay,
We're good.
we've seen the paperwork. He has everything in order from what I've seen. So I'll
Mr. Chair,
entertain a
can
motion.
I make one comment?
Yes, go
Uh,
ahead, please.
Mr.
Yep.
Chair, through you, just, there is one possible pending violation for trash at this location. I just want to make sure that doesn't turn into a problem while we have the applicant before you. So it looks like one of the inspectors had forwarded a photo with quite a few trash bags. I don't know if this is a product because it's a new business opening or what exactly the problem is with the trash, but I just want the applicant to be mindful that it has to be in a sealed dumpster. It has to be not exposed to the elements or to rodents. So I just want that to be known that we need to have a trash plan in place before you start operating.
Yes, we do. We have.
So you have trash, where you gonna put the trash?
Yes, trash bag. We put a trash at a dumpster. We have a dumpster back there in the building, in the back building.
Okay, so you have a dumpster. Okay,
Yeah.
just be mindful that you should have that cleaned up. The inspectors will be around.
Yes.
And, we don't want to be hearing from any of your neighbors as trash on the property or visible from your neighbors' properties.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to grant Boba Tea 130, 142 South Union Street common vic license.
Motion to grant.
Second,
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
aye,
Roll call, Commissioner Darwin,
yes,
Commissioner Potter,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes as well. Okay, good luck, Mr. Sunghan. Yeah.
Right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Let's take care of that trash, please.
Yes. Yeah.
we'll take care of
Thank you.
it.
Take care.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to Mon Ipieta located at 606 Canal Street, which is also applying for a common vic license. Do we have anyone from Mon Ipieta online? Can you unmute, please?
Hi,
Thank you. So who is the owner?
I am.
Okay, Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes,
Okay, and you have all your paperwork in order. And what do you plan for hours of operation?
we're gonna do breakfast and are we gonna start from 8 to 8?
8
And
to
then
8?
weekends, we're gonna see if we can stay like a little late, like 11.
Okay, 11?
Yes, the
Okay,
weekends.
just the weekends.
Yes.
Okay, and that's just, that's a common vic license, okay. Does any commissioners have any questions for Mr. Rodriguez or Lieutenant Cirillo or Captain
No.
Delaney?
no,
No, my only question would have been the hours of operation, but till 11 o'clock is fine.
Okay. All right, this time I'll entertain a motion
I
then.
would just ask, actually, I would ask, if he does well, would he anticipate maybe on a Thursday or wanting to stay open late? We could approve this 11 to 11 and if he elected to close at 8, that would be
Sounds
fine.
good. 11 to 11.
Okay, did you understand that, Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes,
If you would like to stay open till 11 o'clock, if you request it now, we can do that on your license.
Yes, from
Yes.
8 to 11 then?
okay,
Yes.
okay, sounds good, thank you.
Every day of the week.
o'clock at night, closing hours.
I'm sorry, what was that?
We can change that on the license to pinpoint that it would be 11 closing.
Yes, that'll work.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll entertain a motion to grant Maui Theater a license, a common vic license.
Second.
Okay, we had a motion, we had a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye. Roll call, Commissioner Darwin,
yes,
Commissioner Potter,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes as well. Good luck with that, Mr. and Mrs. Rodriguez.
Thank you.
And you can get moving on that as soon as you get your license.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You go down to City Hall and pick that up.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Appreciate that.
We're gonna be moving on to Bocal Latin Restaurant located at 102, 106 Winthrop Ave, which is applying for a common vic license. Do we have anyone from Bocal Latin Restaurant?
Yeah.
Okay, and what's your name, please?
Jana and Jose.
Okay, what's the last name?
Dominguez and Munoz.
Okay, Dominguez Munoz, thank you. Same thing with your hours of operation?
Sorry?
What hours are you going to be open?
7 a.m. to 11 at night.
7 a.m. to 11 at night?
Yeah.
7 days a week?
Yeah.
7 days a week. Okay, do any of the commissioners have any questions for them?
No.
No.
are they, he's serving breakfast?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just looking at the menu, I didn't realize it was breakfast, so.
Yeah, but we're gonna do a brunch and all this.
Okay,
Okay. Commissioner Potter, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, Lieutenant Cirillo, Captain Delaney, anyone from Inspectional Service have questions?
I'm good at this time.
No, the fire department will be stopping by doing an inspection. All the other applicants we did inspect. We haven't been at this place for a while, so we'll be stopping by this week.
Right.
Okay,
The building commissioner also did just stop by here and issued us a 110 certificate of inspection, and everything was in order.
Right.
great, thank you. Okay, at this time then, I will entertain a motion to grant Bocal Latin Restaurant a common vic license.
so moved,
Yeah, motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
aye,
Roll call, Commissioner Darwin,
yes,
Commissioner Potter,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes as well. Okay, good luck with your restaurant, and hopefully you can get in business real soon. You can pick up your license at City Hall.
All right. Thank you.
We're gonna be moving on to All Star Pizza and Grill at 499 501 South Broadway, which is also applying for a common vic license. And do we have anyone from All Star Pizza?
Yes.
Mr. Hernandez.
Dr. Hernandez.
Okay, Mr. Hernandez. What are your hours of operation?
I want to do 11 till 10 p.m.
11 to 10 p.m., 7 days a week?
Yeah.
Okay. Any of the commissioners have any questions?
No.
I just have one, is this a new owner, or is this the one that closed during COVID coming back?
Mr. Hernandez, can you unmute? There was a question for you. Are you a new owner, or you are the past
New owner.
owner of the COVID?
I'm the new owner.
New owner, okay. Lieutenant Cirillo, Captain Delaney, anyone from Inspectional Service care to ask any questions?
I just missed their hours of operation. What's their hours of operation?
11 to 10.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay.
Nothing on my end.
Anyone else? Okay. All right, this time I'll entertain a motion to grant All Star Pizza and Grill a common vic license.
Motion,
Second.
Okay. We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 right,
Okay. Roll call, Commissioner Darwin,
yes,
Commissioner Potter,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes as well. Mr. Hernandez, good luck with your business, and as well, you can stop by City Hall and pick up your license.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, now we're gonna move on to Shalom Auto Group. 57 Merrimack Street for denial of application. Do we have anyone from Shalom present? I don't see anyone that represents Shalom. So I'm gonna go to Lieutenant Cirillo so he can explain what's going on with this Shalom Auto Group at Merrimack Street, and then we can move on from there. And he has Officer Cano here with him as well, who's been handling this. Lieutenant Cirillo, if you can speak on this.
Well, good evening, members of the board and commissioners. So I'm going to try to keep this as simple as I can. I don't know if I can, but what we have here is a business that was operating as Shalom Auto Sales, which was on Carver Street, the old Manzi Dodge. They operated for many years at that location with no issues. But it's become like a layer of onion, I guess, so to speak. As we peel away, we find that it was transferred from one gentleman to the next gentleman to the next gentleman, and none of the gentlemen have ever received a license from the licensing board. So I'm not quite sure if the licensing board has any standing to listen to this case. There are several victims that have been frauded out of large sums of money by being sold cars with no titles. It's a complex investigation which Officer Cano is undertaking. He's got several charges filed against individuals for the sales of these illegal vehicles and titles that victims never received. We will be seeking remedy for these victims through the criminal application through courts, but I'm not quite sure that the board has any standing on the case as it stands right now. One thing that I do know is that Mr. Frias, who is operating, hold on one second, just get his name right before I say it. It's actually Robert Carlos Veras, who is operating under Shalom or Car Kingdom USA, which has no business certificate or LLC, and it certainly doesn't have a license granted by the city of Lawrence or this licensing board to operate in the city of Lawrence. So again, I without getting into the criminal case, I guess what we'll be asking the board tonight to do is to deny with prejudice any license that comes before the board. Right now, we only have an application, but I would be asking that we deny that application and any license that comes before the licensing board for these parties to operate in the city to sell vehicles. And again, like I mentioned, Officer Cano is here. If you have any questions, I probably would not like him to answer anything regarding the criminal investigation at this time, due to the fact that it's ongoing, and I don't want to muddy the water in the criminal investigation with anything that he might have to present to the board. But he is here for any questions that you might have. So I don't know if that kind of answers, or if the board has any questions for me or Officer Cano at this time.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
are they still operating?
So they are still operating via the internet. They don't have any location that we know of that they're operating out of within the city limits. But they are still operating and trying to sell cars off the internet. So the problem that we're having is, how do we get them to stop selling on the internet, which is a problem.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're going to contact the AG's office because, like I said, there's a lot of victims that have been frauded. I want to say there's between 8 to 10 victims that we have right now that, Officer Cano has filed paperwork and charged these people with crimes of selling these vehicles illegally. But they are operating under Car Kingdom on the internet, which that we're working on a remedy to try to fix.
Well, we can certainly also issue a cease and desist to conduct any business
That sounds,
within impacting the city limits. So whether it's on the internet or in a brick and mortar, I don't know that will do it, but
Again, any remedy that you would
more
that could help obviously the victims and anybody further being victimized would be greatly appreciated.
My name is I'd like to ask a question if I may.
1 second, Mr. Nunes. Mr. Nunes is one of the victims who I read the report. I'll let you speak, but we really don't want to get into the criminal case of this.
I don't have any question about the criminal case.
Okay, go ahead and you can speak on that.
My question is about the fact that I see signage going up on Merrimack Street under Car Kingdom. Are they still operating there? Because I don't see a sign for Shalom.
I'll leave that to Lieutenant Cirillo. I don't know if they're operating under Car Kingdom.
They have a sign up and it's huge, and I just want to make sure. I'm here on behalf of Metro Credit Union, a business within the city, who is also involved in the case due to some loans. I just want to make sure because we will be taking applications from people asking for auto loans, and we need a way to make sure we'll have as much information as we can on who is involved with the specific business. Because if I take an auto loan from a business, I don't want to see the name Robert Carlos Veras on their business certificate. So I just want to make sure that that's something we're looking into.
Yeah, I would say that you don't accept any loan application from Car Kingdom or Mr. Veras, because the fact is that they're operating without any business licenses, and I know they've been granted no business licenses by the city of Lawrence. I know Director Armano was on. He can also weigh in on that. But they're basically operating with no licenses or permits. So my suggestion to the Metro Credit Union was to be see anything coming from Car Kingdom, Shalom, or Mr. Veras. I wouldn't approve any.
Now, I believe that there's more institutions besides Car Kingdom. I believe that Officer Cano can relate to that. Can we get, I don't know, I mean, if there's any other names or dealerships that involve these individuals, maybe we can get a heads up.
Absolutely.
Mr. Chair, just to shed some light on the procedure to this, if I may. It looks like there's an application before you. It was 20-007828, and that was by Shalom Auto Group LLC, Roberto Veras, 5-7 Merrimack Street, and that was November 20th. That was application was received. It has not been issued, as Lieutenant Cirillo just testified to, and there are no other licenses at that address. Again, 5-7 Merrimack Street.
Okay, yes, I have that in front of me. Officer Cano, would you like to speak on this?
Yes, I do want to just let the Mr. Nunez know that part of the action that we took, we went with the registry, state police, and he advised me that the Shalom Auto Group LLC would be not allowed. They would be red flagged. So any vehicles that are coming from that name or that business, as well as Car Kingdom, they would not allow it to do any sales. So the registry's on. They've been notified, and they will be taking action. So I don't think that you will have more vehicles coming under those two names. However, I think those are the two names that you need to concentrate on at this time. I can't speak for other cities and towns that they may try to work with, but as far as Lawrence is concerned, we're trying to do the best we can to try and limit the victimization and try and do the best we can with limiting their access.
Thank you.
Thank you, Officer Cano. At this time, I think I'd like to entertain a motion from the board to not allow this license to go forward without prejudice, and any associated future licenses associated with this group or name or any of these names with this group. So I'd like to get that in the form of a motion.
Just a clarifying question, to deny future applications with prejudice, with prejudice or not? I wasn't sure which way you said it.
Without prejudice.
Without, okay.
That way we can cover this license, any future license from this group. And reading some of the applications, some of the reports rather, they've hurt a lot of people financially in the city, and I would not want to see people who've worked hard for their money, any future targets of this group, end up losing their money and any way that they were looking for transportation to make a livelihood.
I agree. So I think that's with prejudice, right? We would deny them with prejudice from this application and any future ones. And
Yes.
I think we should also amend it to state that they should reimburse these victims for what they took from them.
I believe that is on the criminal case, according to Lieutenant Cirillo, looking for some sort of settlement in that. That's the criminal side, but we can amend it any way we want. And I'm more interested so that they don't target any future victims in the city of Lawrence.
Yeah, the restitution would usually come from the criminal proceedings, but I guess you could put that in there that, you know, they need to pay restitution if they ever want to come before this board for a license again. That restitution would have to be paid, I guess. But usually it does come from a criminal
because the criminal complaint could take some time. You never know. So if we also from the board, even if the criminal thing is still in progress, shall we say?
Okay, we can do it any way we want.
Okay.
On our end.
I'll
So,
defer to you, Chairman.
You can, if you can make the motion and we'll move that forward. I can't hear.
Well, I'd make the same motion you did to deny with prejudice the application that is back from November, and to deny with prejudice any future application from Car Kingdom, Shalom Auto Sales, or Shalom Auto Group.
Okay, so we have a motion to deny Car Kingdom, Shalom, and any future applications, this application, and any future applications with prejudice.
May I make a comment?
Yes, please.
I think that we need to, I would like to be able to differentiate Shalom Auto Sales from Auto Group. I believe that the issue we're having is with Shalom Auto Group LLC and Car Kingdom USA. I do not believe that Shalom Auto Sales is any longer in existence. It used to be, and I think it went from one entity to the next. So I just want to make that distinction so that we can make sure that it's separated.
And one other thing I'd like to add to the motion too, Commissioner Darwin, we include the name Robert Carlos Veras also.
Yep, okay.
In the application
Okay.
for business in the city.
Okay, so,
Okay, so I amend the motion to remove Shalom Auto Sales and to add the name of Robert, what was the middle name, Lieutenant Cirillo?
Robert Carlos Veras.
Carlos Veras.
The name Robert Carlos Veras. In case he
so
comes
we're
up with.
removing,
I'm sorry, may I also make another comment?
Sure.
yeah, go ahead.
I believe that attached as a DBA to this entity of Shalom Auto Group and Car Kingdom is a Mr. Algenis Cepeda. He has a DBA from 2018, which is still active up until 2022. And I'd like to make that distinction as well to make sure that he's included into this issue of what's going on. That was in the files in ISD, which we were able to locate.
Okay. I guess we can add that. I'm gonna ask the clerk if, are we getting this down so we know what exactly we have for names?
Yes, and it's being recorded, so we'll be able to capture
Yeah.
all the names.
I'm writing this all down.
Lisa's good,
Okay.
she'll have it.
Okay. I don't want anybody to be left out of this. I think this is a very serious issue. And
Absolutely.
we want to make sure that these people are not skirted around by our mistakes or not having the proper names in there. So
Also, the name is going to be Roberto Carlos Veras Jr.
Carlos Veras Jr. Okay, so one more time, just to be clear, can you read that motion again? I can't hear you, Commissioner Darwin.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Lisa for the names. So, okay, the motion is denied with prejudice. The application received back in November, I believe Director Romano said, as well as any future application involving Car Kingdom USA, Shalom Auto Group LLC, and the names of, which I didn't write down, Lisa can fill in the next three names.
It would be Roberto Carlos Veras Jr.
Yep.
and Argeni Cepeda. And I believe there's one more business name that Cano mentioned, which I didn't take down.
Okay, we have that recorded, so we're gonna move that motion forward. All in favor? Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All, roll call, Commissioner Darwin,
Yes.
Commissioner Potter,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes as well. So we'll have this all recorded accordingly with the names added, the two businesses added, and we'll make sure that as of right now, no present license or future license we'll move forward under these names. And I think that's all I have right now for this meeting. So we're gonna call for, looking for a date for our next meeting. Today is, I'm not sure what today's date.
The
Today's the
15th.
15th.
Today is the 15th, okay, so we're gonna be looking for the 28th of April, which will be the last Wednesday of the month. Okay, is the 28th all right with the commissioners?
Okay with me.
I can't make the 28th. But
No.
28th. Oh, if you can't make it, it's all right, we can move it to.
yeah, as long as you have two, you're fine.
Yep, Alfred, you can make it, I can make it. So we'll
Yes.
move on to 28th. We'll set that as the schedule, April 28th, 6 o'clock evening. And I'd like to thank everybody who was here and spoke. And I'll entertain a motion to adjourn at this time.
So moved.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, thank you everyone for showing up and just dealing with craziness some nights. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.